I see it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it said recorded starting.
We
Cool.
are we are recording. Hi, my name is Jason Smith, aka the Tallest Man Comedy. I'm here with my
Sorry.
co-host Kerri Bemis,
Hi.
and we are recording our fourth episode of One
Yeah.
Last Question.
Yeah. If you watched our last one, we were with Justin,
Yes,
and he is very interesting and very cool cat. And I think you should check out his YouTube channel or podcast. Very cool. I think you'll
yeah,
really like it.
Midnight Paco
So,
podcast.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It's the Midnight Paco podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So we were talking about contacts. You said my adrenaline was going. No, what I was saying was is one contact, I wear contacts, one contact will go blurry. And so I have to mess with it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to swear. I'll have to mess with it. It doesn't work. But then if I get busy at work, like I forget about it. And then I'll remember like, oh wait, I can see better. It's just weird. So as I'm saying, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like my adrenaline gets going, and so I don't like. I don't know. I don't pay attention, but I don't know. That's what I was saying when you were like, "What are you talking about? Your adrenaline's going."
Oh, okay. So, like, just in the process of working, you're under pressure, that gets your adrenaline going, and then the blurriness clears up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was saying. And I don't know if it's definitely it's not a mental thing because I definitely can see better out of one eye sometimes, but I think when you're moving around and stuff, things just get like, you know what I mean? Your focus gets somewhere else, and body
Yeah,
starts moving and whatever. That's what we were talking about.
I got you.
I know, very riveting. So let's talk about our week.
Okay.
I know we're not very exciting. I'm 47. I'll be 48 in August. I understand we're not like going out partying, but we found a place to live. Well,
We did.
we're living in a place now, but we found a different place to live.
Yeah, we did. Uh, so we're hoping to move in there in the next few weeks. Um,
Mm.
which will give us our own place. It'll give our children who are grown up more space where they're at. So yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to that.
I am too. I what I really liked about it was when we first started looking at places, that was the one that I when we had the videos, right? And I'm like, oh, I really like this one. You know what I mean? We checked it out, and it became that's the one that we picked. We were to pick, so I thought that was really
Right.
cool.
I think they threw us those other ones first to see, oh, maybe they'll bite on these because those are the ones weren't as nice.
Mm.
And then when we kind of like held out, like they showed us the one that we liked when we saw the video.
Yeah, I like it. I
Yeah, I
do.
did too.
I think it's going to be really nice. We look make it look really sharp, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we did that. So we found a place. We have yet to be able to. We have to tell the boys soon, though, and your parents, but
Yes,
that's
we do.
okay. I know, like they're going to need our help and stuff like that. Like both of them, your parents and the boys. But you know,
Yeah.
it's okay. We're like what 15? We'll be like what 15 minutes away or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 15, max 20 minutes away. So it's not
Yeah,
far.
yeah. All right. What else did we do?
We got your car back. Kerri
Yeah.
owns a 2013 turbo Beetle, and it's convertible. And so, it being, well, I guess 11 years old now, the top was worn. So we were
Hmm.
able to get the top replaced at a trim shop, which is the type of place that does that.
Yeah.
And
Only one I could find that could do it, and he was like what 45 minutes away from us.
yeah, he was out in near Brunswick. It was Valley City,
Hmm.
and we're currently in Bedford. So it was like a 40, maybe 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
But he did it, and it looks great.
It looks fantastic. It's
Yeah,
beautiful. His place is called Jason's Custom Trim. What is it? Brunswick? New Valley? Is that what was the city?
Valley City.
Okay, Valley City. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, if you're like around Cleveland or whatever and you need some stuff done, I'm telling you, he's like really cool. He got started on it immediately. Whatever. It looks
Yeah.
really sharp, really, really sharp. Maybe if we figure out how to do some of the editing and posting, we'll put a picture of it in here. If you don't see a picture, then that means we haven't figured it out yet, but we will eventually. But yeah, that was really nice. We've waited a few years to be able to do that, and so that was really cool.
Yeah.
And what else did we do? I had my reunion. I had my
Yes.
30-year class reunion.
Yeah.
That was fun. I enjoyed that very much. It was really nice. I get to see well, I liked being there with Ann and Aaron. Of course, like they're my best friends since I was 12 years old. And then it was really nice. It was really nice being able to see people um from 30 years ago that I graduated with.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
never been Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, most people are like, "Ugh, I don't wanna go to that," and, like, stuff like that, but I've never been like that. I don't mind if I run into people that I went to high school with or whatever. Who cares? I don't care. I like it. I talk to them and whatever, like, but some people kinda, like, stray away from that. There wasn't a lot of people there. There was, like, what, 30 people there?
Yeah. Hey, Cool C is calling me. Let me take this.
Okay, no problem.
Hello.
I love it. Let's just keep
I'm
rolling.
good. How are you? I thought it was 7:30 today. I thought was what. Okay. Yeah. No, we have to get 50 subscribers before we can go live. So we just record it. So we were just recording ourselves talking, but like it didn't screw anything up. We can do it in an hour. We could do it.
Tomorrow, whatever.
I got funny stop tomorrow, but we could do it. We're not doing anything on Thursday, right, Kerri?
Correct.
We can do it Thursday if you want. If you're not working,
Whenever he's available.
we'll say 7:30 just because we were like crunched for time to make everything set up at 7. So yeah, 7:30 on Thursday would be cool, man. Okay, all right. It's cool, man. All right, it sounds good. I will text you the link. Maybe like 15 minutes before, and then we'll do it on Thursday at 7:30. It it's okay. No worries, man. We'll talk to you then. All right, no problem. Bye bye. So I sent him the day in the last text. I said
Mhm.
Tuesday the 25th, but I guess he was confused and didn't realize it was tonight, which
Oh,
is
okay.
kind of kind of
It
weird
doesn't
because,
matter.
but
Things happen.
yeah, it's no, it's it was a mix up. So
Well, then
I don't
let's
know.
just go with it. We can always edit any of this out, Jay. Eh, Let's just go with it.
Oh, okay. You want to keep doing it with just us?
Why not?
Okay.
Are you up for it or no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I think we just talk. Let's just talk, I guess.
Okay. Um. So let's see. We were talking about we got your convertible top replaced at Jason's custom trim shop in Valley City, right near
Yeah.
Brunswick, and we got that back yesterday.
Hmm.
And then today is Tuesday the 25th. of June 2024.
Okay, yeah.
Because in the future, people were going to want to know when we were recording this.
You're funny.
In the annals of history, like, oh my God, they're so transcendent. I don't know if they're from the future or the past, but now you know.
Or we might get so big that can be like, listen, I watched them when it was June. I think it's the 25th, actually.
Yeah, 25th.
Yeah, June 25th, 24. So I
Yeah,
was like the first fan, which
yeah,
which brings me back to when I interviewed you, when people want to be like the biggest fan possible, right?
right.
I watch or not watch. I'm sorry. I read that like Marilyn Manson like fan club and like Courtney Love, and people are like, yeah, well, I like them, and it's just like so great. It's just so wild to me, man. And people will
Hmm.
talk about like I don't know. It's kind of sweet. I was surprised that the I was surprised, but when I think about it, I shouldn't have been surprised. I was surprised when people in the Marilyn Manson like fan page group, they're very nice to each other. That surprised me. I thought that they would be kind of because he goes for like thrill and like to make people uncomfortable. So I was thinking like that's how they would be. They're not. It is like they are so kind and nice to each other.
Yeah,
And I think it's because they feel like they're outcasts, right? And so they
yeah,
found
for
like
sure.
a, you know what I mean? I at first though, I was like, oh, they're gonna like make you feel uncomfortable or bring out your insecurities, but they're not like that at all. Like people go on there, I thought it was really sweet, and they're like, I'm going to see him in Chicago. I have the like meet and greet tickets. I don't know
Yeah,
what to say to him. Can you guys please help me? How should I act? What can I say? I'm so and people were so sweet and they were like commenting like, "Well, when I met him, he was so nice and he
yeah.
always takes a picture and he'll always like if you can't make a conversation, he'll come up with something." It was really kind of cool. I did not expect that. I went off of like I guess his fans, which doesn't make any sense because I'm not like yeah, I like to like stir things up a bit with like and make things a little awkward with people sometimes,
Hmm.
like just for fun, like when I go walking and I just start singing, listen to my earbuds and I'm singing out loud. I just do that to fuck with people. Oh, see, I'm sorry. To mess with people. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
get like the whole like shock factor thing. I guess I just thought that's what it would be, but I'm not like that all the time. I'm more insecure than anything. Honestly, people don't realize that, but I really am. I don't
I'm
know.
not I'm not surprised that his fans are nice to each other because I would think that they all feel like, sure, there's like the outcast thing, and then there's like, I think there's some sort of mutual respect that you're smart enough to see what's theatrical and what is just him being a good artist and not be scared of someone that's doing something different,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
he intentionally pushes boundaries and seeks to shock people, not just as a way to be like promote himself, like that kind of thing. There's no such thing as bad press, right? So if thousands of people are picketing against you outside your concert, people
Mhm.
will notice that and they will bring your name up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he was very smart with the
Keep
branding.
talking.
And
Keep talking. Keep talking.
yeah, so he was very smart with the branding, and I think that helped him immensely. And I've always said he uses his voice like a musical instrument in the way he alternates his pitch of his voice, the way it does or doesn't match the music. Um, and he's a very creative artist to, rather than worry about, like it's like a Howard Stern thing where it's like if you stop caring about what other people will think, then you are truly free to express yourself and what you really think and how you see the world, and that makes you incredibly genuine. Which, um, something like, okay, maybe it's hard for me to think like Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber are being genuine ever, because
Mm,
they're very much having to fit the role that their handlers and managers and songwriters and an agent and they this is what works, do this, and they're not really being themselves. They're being, it's flipped with Marilyn Manson. Like a normal guy that finds success in entertainment a lot of times is it's, well, okay, this is a winning formula, so keep doing this. And that's not necessarily, that's what worked, but maybe that's not who they are at all. Larry the Cable Guy, he's not a cable guy, and his name's not Larry. He's Dan Whitney, and that was just like a shtick, but it worked, so he kept doing it. But if
hmm
you were to sit down and have dinner with him, it's not get her done and like all that redneck stuff. That was just his shtick, you know.
hmm
And I think Marilyn Manson walks around with fake boobs on and all done up, and no, he's that's not him. But in by having the persona, it gives him the freedom to be entirely free about how he wants to make music. You know what I'm saying? Where
I, I I
I
do.
don't I don't think other artists have that freedom because they're probably more concerned about um, making good on their next album. Expectations of their fans, of their manager, producer, financier, like all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, I do, and I agree with you. I agree with you. I guess I can expand on it a little bit, but
Okay.
and it's just my opinion. I don't know the guy.
Right.
It's just my opinion. But yeah, I think that, like you said, okay, he doesn't walk around like his album cover where he has like boobs and a vagina and he looks like an alien with the red hair. Of course, he doesn't walk around like that. He'll
Right.
walk around with what he's comfortable wearing, right?
Yeah.
He might have lipstick on, he might have eyeliner on. When he does interviews, he usually has lipstick on. He does, he does what he feels comfortable in. And you talk about Bieber and all those other ones, they go by their real name. He doesn't. So I do think it kind of creates a shell, right? And you said it kind of like, I just my opinion. If it were me, because like you always say, you think people think like you, right? So if it was me
Yes.
in his situation, yeah, I would go by a different name, 100%.
Uh huh.
And then if I did something, it because I'm not thinking Carrie Bemis. I'm thinking I'm this person now, right?
Right.
And that's where I'm creative, and that's who I really want to be. But yeah, there's no way that I do not feel that he does not feel insecure. And like I don't feel that. Everyone feels insecurity, right?
Everybody. Everyone. Yes.
And I think he pushes, right? That video, Long Hard Road Out of Hell. Whoa, right? That was pretty wild video. If
I
you
don't know if
remember it,
I can't think of
it
it.
was very androgynous. He's naked on the couch,
Okay.
long hair, and he's like being real, like whatever.
Yeah.
I think you, in my opinion, man, you'd have to get into like maybe Brian Warner doesn't do that, but Marilyn Manson can do that. That's where he
Yeah.
finds the courage, in my opinion. The insecure person is Brian Warner, but
Right.
now I'm Marilyn Manson.
He disassociates who he really is
I
with
feel that way.
his artistic side, and the artistic side to Marilyn Manson, and Marilyn
Mhm.
Manson is a god among men and can do whatever he wants.
He's a
And
goddamn antichrist, baby.
right,
Right.
right. Yeah.
He's the ruler of it. Think about that. I'm the fucking I'm the antichrist. I
Right.
mean, can you think? I mean, think about. But yeah, so I think that I think it's a disassociation in the moment. I don't think he's always Marilyn Manson. I think
No.
when he's done, then he's like, oh, whatever. I'm just a normal dude, right?
Yeah, well, there's a guy I knew when I was much younger, and he was like he was a magician. He was very good, and his name is Paul Burdick, but he changed his name to Michael Mirth
Mm,
because to have a stage name. And the two things I wanted to say about that, what made me think of him was that he said like my first wife really liked Robin Williams, but like amazingly talented comedian. But he's like, but could you imagine being around that like all day long? And I was much younger then, and I was like, yeah, that'd be grating if someone's constantly
of course. Yeah.
doing
Yeah. Yeah.
shtick, you know. But
Yeah.
then obviously that's not the reality of anyone's life, you know. Like
No, right.
Brian Warner's not always in that persona of Marilyn Manson and being so shocking and out there, any more than Robin Williams is constantly making you laugh, because that's not, you know, if you're an artist, you're, especially if you're a performer, a live performer, you know, you get in that zone to do your thing. and
Hmm.
and, and that's not your normal state, you know. You put yourself there by choice to accomplish your objective, but that's not always how you are, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. You you don't do things like that, do you? I I don't see you do things like that.
um I'm I would say I'm fairly similar to me on stage as me in real life as a person. I would just say the
Hmm.
only difference for me is when I'm on stage, I'm a little more focused and sharp, and trying a little harder. Like in my everyday life, if I have an opportunity to make someone laugh because it's like right there,
Hmm.
then I'm going to make them laugh. But I'm not going my out of my way to find those moments, and I'm more focused on, you know, doing my job. If I'm at work or if I'm at home watching TV, I'm focused on the show, or if I'm playing a video game, I'm focused on the video game. But on stage, I'm solely focused on trying to make people laugh. So it's still me, but it's not like if you were to hang out with me all day, I might not make you laugh at all, because it might be more functional things that is going on, and less, you know what I'm saying? It's not
I
it's
do
not my focus, I guess, in my everyday life to make people laugh.
I do know what you're saying. I guess my question is that when you're doing all that, d you don't see, even you don't have a stage name. Tallest man in com but they still say Jason Smith. He's the
Yeah.
tallest man in comedy, and you still go by your real name,
Yeah.
right? When I was doing lives, I didn't go by that, it's a different person, right?
Yeah.
So, we're just different. We're just different.
Yeah. We always say we're opposites, which is
Yeah.
in a lot of ways we are.
Oh, in many ways we are. We just find a way to connect. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I can relate to having a different shell,
Right.
but I don't feel that you do that. I feel that you don't think that you have to do that because I feel that you think that, like, I'm fucking fine how I am, and that's not an insult at all. Like,
No,
to
I
be
don't. I
like,
don't take it as one. No, I wouldn't. I would never
you
go
think
up
everybody
there.
likes you. You think everybody likes you, right?
No, no, I don't. I know some people don't like me. Um, my my viewpoint is that I'm just going to be myself. And no, not everyone likes me. Not everyone will like me for who I am. But when someone does like me, then they're going to continue to like me because they like me for who I am. Now, if I
Okay.
were to pretend to be what people wanted, they would like me for who I'm pretending to be, but that's not who I really am. So then you got to keep up that charade of being what they want. No, it's just it's a loser. It's a losing bet. You're never going to be able to always keep up that persona. You know, you can do it on stage or whatever, but like in everyday life, like day to day, no, you're gonna revert back to being yourself. You're gonna slip, and then what if they don't like that? And then it's like it hurts twice as worse because oh, so you like me if I'm X, Y, and Z, but when I'm just being myself, you don't like me. That I would feel that would be worse. I'd rather just take the rejection up front. Okay, you don't like me. Well, that's cool. I'm not
Well,
gonna not be, I'm not gonna not be me. I mean, I get everybody is a little bit more
hmm.
job interviews and first dates and shit. Yeah, you are a little bit more on your game to make a good impression, but
Hmm.
I don't feel that that's you not being yourself. I would say that you're just trying to show your best qualities a little bit more.
Well, and I think you're nervous and all that shit. I don't think that shit, man. I don't think that shit counts, honestly.
But I'd still say you're being yourself, unless you're trying to be
Come
someone you're
on.
not.
You are not gonna go,
Huh?
Jason.
What?
You know who I truly am.
Yeah,
I know who you truly are.
absolutely.
And if I went on a first date with someone and was being myself, now come on. Now stop it.
Come on, what?
It'd be a bit overwhelming, right? Like same thing with you,
You
man.
you could be a
So it's
little
not like
intense, yeah.
right, right. So can you, right?
Yeah,
So
I can.
you're like, oh, it's not really no. This you're not being yourself, but that's fine. It's because it's smothered with insecurities, and that's okay because that doesn't it. It's kind of like boundaries, right? Like maybe people don't need to know exactly who you are the first time you meet them, right? Maybe there's layers to it. There's people I've known for many years, many years, 20 years plus, that all of a sudden you go, oh shit, I don't, whoa, this person is different now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
things progress.
right. People
Like
do
when
people
you
do
first,
change over time, and their behavior is very different given the situation they're in, the stress they're under, um what's at stake, like so I guess being yourself is a little bit too simplistic of a way to sum up the very human behaviors.
I mean, I think, yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe it's I like, you're a nice person. You're going to show them you're a nice person. You're
Hmm.
you're a patient person. You're gonna be like, whatever. You're a kind person. You're a romantic person. You're gonna do all those things, of course. That's part of
Yeah,
who you are. But you're not gonna walk in there and be like, "Hey, I'm Jason Smith." You know what I'm saying? You're
yeah,
not gonna do that. So you
right.
still are not really showing who yourself is. But that's fine. I'm not judging it. I, you should do that. If that, are you kidding me? People would never like procreate if that was the point. If that was the fucking. Sorry, I'm trying to swear. If that was like the case, like it would never happen. People would
Yeah,
never hook up
I know. I know what you're
ever.
saying. It human behavior fascinates me, and it's people are very very complex. Even people that you would think would be very simple, um
Yeah.
maybe you like uneducated or like people with mental disabilities and stuff, they're still complex too. Everybody is. There's a lot there's a lot that goes into a person and how their brain works and why they choose to do what they do and how they respond to situations. It kind of fascinates me. In a different life, I would have been a psychiatrist because I find it very interesting the way people's minds work
Well, that's
because it's unique to that person. Go ahead.
well, that's why we started this YouTube channel, because we just want to talk to every average person. That's it. I find it just as unique.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. It's so cool, man. I can't wait to have like we have like 3 people lined up. I can't wait. It's just gonna be fun to me because they're all so different,
Yeah.
including the one is gonna be on Thursday.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
everyone is just so different, and that was the point of us like starting this. We
Yeah.
just want to like
Everybody's got a story.
everyone has a story, man. Everyone has a story, and you don't and you don't know it until you start talking to them.
Yeah. And uh it makes me think of the movie Tropic Thunder where like Ben Stiller tries to like get up there and like sound all wise and whatnot, and it like totally backfires. They're like, Simple Jack sucked. Like, but like
Yes.
what he actually says is not, I won't say it's profound, but
No.
there's some
Yes.
truth to it that
Yes.
the more we
Shoot. What
identify
does
what
he
makes us
say?
different is the more realize we're the same.
And
So
then he
like,
says it again. And then he says it again. I
yeah,
like him more like
I wrote
no
in
one responded. So he was
it,
like, the more that we're different. Oh, it's so
right,
good.
right. It was from my passage from my book, The Boy Everyone Was Jealous of. Like, such a good movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
And then they're like, Simple Jack's up there. Like, and then
Yes, it was Jack Black's character. He said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Super Jack.
So
Who
it
said
is,
that?
it's
Said
actually
that.
it is
So
kind of
good.
true. Like, while
It's
everyone
so good.
is unique, also you can see, you know, things that happen in your life happen in these other people's lives. So even though they're not you, you can understand. My parents got divorced. My dad died when I was a kid, or I was raised in a military family and we moved around a lot, or like there's all these things that are part of Piece's story, and
Or
that's
even on the. So go
part
ahead.
of a
Sorry,
lot of
I was gonna say.
pieces. A lot of those pieces are part of a lot of people's story. Easy for me to say.
No, you're right. And even on a different spin of that, you might have people that never had to want for anything, got a nice job because their parents were wealthy, were able to go to college, all that, but they still have things, right? That
Right.
they kept quiet.
Oh
They
yeah.
couldn't talk about. That I love that. That's the stuff right there because people, you know what I'm saying? People think, "Oh, well, what do you have to worry about?" That's not true, man. That's not true. I just love that.
It's
Not that they're
also
gonna come on here and talk about, "Oh, I was
right.
essayed once in my life," and because you have to say that word now, you can't say the real thing on YouTube now. Um,
But like
you know,
if
I'm
you're
not saying that, but
but it's all very, your experience in life is all very relative to like what life was to you. So if you lived this like amazing life where you were showered of love and attention by your parents and they were wealthy, and you went to college and you got your PhD and you got a job as a heart surgeon and you made crazy money and you fell in love with a girl at college and got married to her and you have 2 kids and everything is like so great, and then you're walking to your car and you get beat up and mugged. That's like so traumatic for you because you have never been in a situation where you weren't winning. So you finally took an L, but it's like highly traumatic. But for someone that's like living on the street and is a crackhead, say, that's not, they would brush that right off because they've dealt with so much trauma that doesn't even do anything to them. So that's the difference. The same thing, beat up and robbed, happened to both people, but one person is like gonna always remember it, and it's like the worst thing ever. And the other person, that was just my Monday. Like, who cares? So it's very, life is very complex, and people's experiences. It's not just what happened, but it's about who they were, how they were raised. Like, it all factors in.
Mhm.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, and no, it is. And the scenario that you gave with like someone who was kind of well off, they never had a deal, they go to a club, they get jumped. I know I know someone that happened to. I know the person. I know someone that happened to. He was one of the elites in, the area that I went to school in, and
Okay.
that exactly happened to him. I don't know if he got mugged. It was over, I think, from rumor. I don't know what it was over something else, but he was he he walked out of a place, and yeah, he got jumped by like four dudes. Maybe that's what I heard. That was the rumor, but it
Okay.
really happened. He ended up in the hospital.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean just because his family was wealthy, like he deserved that. You know what I'm saying? That's trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge trauma. That's going to be with him for the rest of his life.
Right.
You
It's like,
know?
it's the whole like,
I
it's
would
the
love
whole,
to interview him
yeah.
if he would, and definitely like hopefully like my friends will like want to do this with me, and that would be perfect from the angle that I'm trying to go with the small town gossip thing, right?
Yeah.
It'd be perfect. It'd be perfect. But his story is good.
Well,
It's so good.
it's like the like, this is the best way to say it. Okay, you say you have mom hands. So when you pick up something that's hot, the
Yeah.
kids would be like, "Oh my god, it's so hot," and they would drop it or like
Yeah.
not continue picking it up. But you have a resistance to that heat from cooking a lot,
Right. Right.
right? So I think that happens not just with your hands. It happens with like, I don't know, like your feelings or your soul or however you want to say it. I think that experiencing hurt or trauma, that you can still develop a callous to things to where it hurts less in the future. But like, if your life is like really good and people don't hurt your feelings, or you have a chef that cooks for you, you don't develop that resistance to picking up hot stuff, so you don't have the mom hands, or you don't have that like resilience to someone hurting your feelings because people haven't. You've never had to really, you know what I'm saying?
I do. And I understand. I do understand what you're saying. But, we're humans.
Yeah.
No matter what, someone will hurt your feelings.
Oh yeah.
The person you just described, the chef, and they never had to do anything. Well, maybe he told the chef, I don't like mushrooms. And then the chef makes him a meal and he goes, I told you I didn't like mushrooms. You're not listening to me. And that is traumatic for that person. And he will go, that person didn't listen to me. Because we're humans. It just
Yeah.
is. If no one had anything that they perceived as traumatic, we'd be like walking, we'd be like robotic almost, which maybe that's okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird. But I do think, no, it's just kind of a stretch. I don't know. I think, we have this beautiful brain, and like I just said, someone's traumatic experience is different than others. I was even talking to Jim today, my brother-in-law, and he said something, and I said, well, you know what? How they interpreted it is different how I interpreted it. And people
Right.
do it different ways. They deal with it different ways. They're
Yeah.
not the same. right?
Right.
So it's true. People are so different, right?
Absolutely.
So you can't say like, oh, like, suck it up or whatever. No, it's not how that's not how it works. It's just not how it works.
No, what might be
I forgot what I was trying to make a point. It'll come back to me.
yeah, what might be extremely detrimental to one person, another person won't even it will barely register. Like obviously no one wants someone to, you know, disrespect them, devalue them, insult them. I mean, that's going to get a response out of any person. But even the response will be very different depending on the person.
Mhm.
Um, so it's, people are,
That remind yes.
people are unique. Their retina, their fingerprint, their DNA, totally unique. But also,
It's
what
amazing,
they
right?
how they got where they're at, what they want, what how they would react in a situation is also very unique.
Yeah, yeah. You reminded me of what I was gonna say. It was like you compared like someone who, that fake person who had everything handed to him. But I said, oh, maybe the chef. Oh, I forgot you didn't like mushrooms. No, 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 right? And the homeless person, like, the, on a level, it's like it's still like they're human. And I think maybe trauma has to happen in order for people to continue the strength. Listen, there's homeless people out there in LA. They're living in tents. They're
Yeah,
living in tents. Think about this. You still have a will to live. You've been through all that trauma, but that trauma is still going, nope, I'm worth living. Nope, nope,
yeah,
nope. Okay, yeah, I live in a tent. I'm an addict. I'm this. I don't know what I'm going to do for food in the next 5 minutes. You still, that's how it's, I don't believe that for one thing, someone decides, yeah, you know what? I don't want anything. People go on the van life experience. That's different. That's different than the people living in tents in California. You know what I'm saying? Or LA. That's different. Um, they're there because of trauma, and that's how they were able to deal with it. But they're still alive, and so it's like I think trauma has to be part of the desire to live. You have to have that trauma to find strength. And even those people have strength, or else they'd be like, what? What am I doing? Life's horrible, right?
yeah. Well, the will to live is extremely powerful.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
have always had kind of a different point of view on people that commit suicide because you've always felt like no, they had mental problems, like no rational person would do this. They obviously
Correct.
yada yada. Like that was kind of your point, and my
Yeah.
my my viewpoint was, and I'm not taking away from that. Yes,
It's your opinion.
to want to end your life is not a normal feeling. Um, but to have the strength of will to actually do it is not advocating anyone and their life, but I'm saying you have to really want it. Like you are you're humans are hardwired, life is hardwired to want to keep living. So
Right.
for you to get over past that, like you got to
You
I think you have to really be suffering to actually not like not like a cry for help type thing, but like jump off a, a 10-story building. Like you chose to do it. You know you're going to die, and you still had the strength to do that.
you
That
find that strength, huh? You find that strength?
because everything in your body is telling you
Right.
no,
And
like
you beat it.
everything.
Mhm.
And you
You
somehow have the. I think it's like mental strength. And maybe it's giving up. It could be giving up in that moment. It could be complete lack of caring about anything.
Anything else, that's how I feel. Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I don't think that would be an easy thing to do, even if you had given up on life, because you're so hardwired to survive.
Right.
Yeah,
You,
it's not a good thing.
it's your
People should
opinion.
never end their life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's not an easy thing to do. It's incredibly hard.
Ah, because we're not hardwired that way.
Because yeah, we're made to not ever
Correct.
want to do that.
Right. So to go against that, maybe something's not connecting here, baby.
I mean, maybe. I don't believe every case of someone ending their life is, well, they're crazy. Just like I don't think every mass shooting is, well, they're crazy. No, there's other stuff going on. It,
Wow.
it's not just the person's mental health that is at play there.
Um, I think that it's an ignorance of that person's mental health, and maybe they ignored their mental health, or people around them that maybe could have helped them ignored their mental health. You can't force someone to get mental health, but I disagree.
All right.
I just I feel and I just feel that someone who does
like
that is
like
not
I feel
being
like people that
they're
go on the mass shooting, I feel that's incredible weakness, because that's so hateful and irresponsible, and totally there's no validation for it at all, because anymore it's not like a husband and a wife and one of them was cheating, or it's not like the boss that fired you from your job of 40 years. It's like just random people. They're killing random people they've never met for no reason. That's
right.
insanity. That's so insane to me that I can't even understand how why would you want to just use a heavy machine gun and just open up at a concert and just try to kill as many people as you can? I can't comprehend why you would ever do that. Like you're not accomplishing anything. You're just hurting people
Okay,
that
so
you
you
don't even know.
are okay. I agree. Are you able to maybe like say those people are the ones that have the mental issues, but the ones that that's a little more personal don't?
I guess listen, my experiences in life, I could see someone going, I give up. I can't do it anymore. I can't go on anymore. And even though I don't want to end my life, I feel that's my only option.
Uh,
I can understand that pathology. I can't understand. I have a hard time even understanding killing someone. But killing
But
someone that you've never
but
met, that has never wronged you for no apparent reason, I'm lost. I don't
but
get it at all.
I don't either. But that's different from what you just said. You're like I need my own life. I understand the mentality around it. I understand. I do too. I understand going, the world would be better without me. To actually do it, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about the mass shootings is a whole different thing. But no. Like that's what you mentioned. But to actually do it or try to to go. Everyone has had those thoughts. My earbud fell out. Sorry. Everyone has had
And do you, let me ask you
those
this
thoughts.
question. Let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
And do you think it's strength to not go through with those thoughts, or it is strength? What do you think's harder to do? Stay alive or end your life?
End your life.
It's harder to do.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. It takes a certain mental determination to do that.
Yeah, and I feel it's selfish.
It's very selfish.
you're
It's very
only
selfish.
thinking of yourself. So
Right.
you're correct. Your selfishness
Yeah.
goes above anybody else that loves
No,
you.
you're only thinking of how you're
Right.
so unhappy that you can't
And that's
even
horrible.
do one more day. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's a really bad, mean thing to do. Like that's not a good person, man. That's bad. Not giving an F about anybody else. Like, not that they're a bad person, you know what I'm saying? But it's like in that moment, nothing tells you, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I think people who do it, yes, the whole thing was, do they have mental problems? You were saying they don't. You were saying sometimes people just get depressed.
No, no. I said that
We'll have to go
it,
back, but I'm telling you, I was
but
saying,
I'm saying I don't think it's always mental
okay,
problems that lead to suicide or to someone ending their own life. I think sometimes that person has just suffered too much trauma. They
I
can't
agree.
they can't see how things could ever be better. Okay, in one instance,
I
it was
agree.
one of these sextortion scams. So it's like a 16-year-old boy and hit up on social media.
Careful
Oh,
what
I'm a girl and like
careful what you say because we can't post it if it's stupid.
so a person pretending to be a girl
Mhm.
sent racy close off stuff. Now you send me the same thing back. And he did. And then they said, we will send this to all your family unless you give us money. Well, he didn't
Mhm.
have money. He was 16.
Mhm.
And then he ended his life because he was so ashamed
Mhm.
that his mom was going to get a video of him
Mhm.
self pleasuring himself or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't think he had a mental problem at all. Do
Okay,
you?
so what was it? Yes, I do. He obviously was depressed. He didn't understand who he was, and
He
he
was
maybe he had loving parents, but he did he it. Listen, think of the shit our children have done, and we have given them every opportunity to tell us, right? And they still lied sometimes. They still did shit, and we always said, "We've never given you any opportunity to never tell us the truth." Kids are kids, right?
right.
Yeah, yes, yes. It's just yes. That's how I feel. Go ahead.
I mean, I just think he was mentally fine. He was just so terrified of that humiliation that he flipped out. He felt like trapped.
I know why you feel that way. And I know I believe I know why I feel this way. Because I believe people are born this way. I believe people are born if they're a depressed person, they're born that way. Maybe that's the difference here. Maybe I shouldn't have said I know, but that's what I think. I think people are born, I would say some people are born with a sad heart. Some people aren't. I'm a lot different from my siblings.
Yeah,
I was born that way. I was born that way. Things happen to me, absolutely. But things happen to other people, my siblings. They didn't do the things I did, right? They
true.
did exactly. That's my point. I was born like that. I was born to feel it deeper, right? To feel the sadness a little deeper, like ugh, like it weighed. You know what I mean? I was born like that. They were able to do something else to forget about it. I chose other things to forget about it. I did drugs and I drank.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I
So
know.
that's my opinion. But I do understand what you're saying. But I was just making a point of like maybe that's why we feel differently because we have different opinions about it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's healthy. It's healthy for people to have their own
Yeah,
opinion, and it doesn't mean one person's right and one person's wrong.
correct.
And with something as complex as that, it's you could identical twins raised by the same parents don't turn out the same.
Right.
Like they look the same parents, but they turn out different. So
And they need,
even like when you say born with a sad heart, I don't know what that's speaking to, because it's like I don't even know how you would identify that. I don't know how you would quantify that as like I have a hard time with that, because I can't even really pin down what that really means. I don't know. I think it's people's experiences that shape them more than anything else. But I can also say we have kids together, and one's just like me, one's just like you. And that has nothing to do with their experiences. They were born that way. Our DNA has transferred like our personalities onto them too. So it's like I guess I'm just not smart enough to put all the pieces together, but you know what I'm
but
saying?
I don't, no, I do understand what you're saying. I don't think it has anything to do with being intelligent or not. But, like you, okay, like let's take two people. Here's just my opinion. You said twins, right? Twins are twins. I know a group of twins. You met one of them at my
Yeah.
reunion, right? You met
Yeah.
another one. They
Right.
look a lot alike,
They do.
but each are born two separate fingerprints, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are totally different. They were raised by the same parents,
Right.
same siblings. They're 100% different.
Absolutely.
Now, okay, so do you think that, it's just what I'm saying, you're just born, like that. It's just genetic. You're just born like that. Do you think, like, okay, let's take, I don't know, take the twins or whatever. They were born. Everything was the same. Everything.
Right.
Do, everything was the same. They were raised the same.
Mm-hmm.
But then one of them decided to do this and the other one didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything was the same. What?
How do you account for the variance in the trajectory of their lives, or
Right,
or any other amount of it? Like
right,
how do you account for that?
right,
I can't. I don't know.
right. So that's where my mind goes. That's where my thought is. It's like, because you're born to think you're just born that way. You're just That's my opinion. That doesn't It's not an excuse, and it doesn't mean that you can't come to terms with it and realize it, right? That's like doing the work, right? You realize things like, oh shit, I am a sad person. And I will agree with you. There are things that happen in people's lives that maybe it changed. Absolutely. 100%. That happened to me. Absolutely. But I do remember before that feeling anxiety. I do remember as a little girl feeling different. I do remember feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and who knows? Maybe I don't remember. Maybe it was other shit that was happening in the house. Who knows? I I think both scenarios could probably be correct, honestly, because your brain shuts off the shit it doesn't want to remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was abuse in my house, so
Right.
maybe, you know, both.
Yeah.
I think both scenarios honestly could. Who knows? It's very complex. You're talking about people and their brain, and
Right.
but I'm just saying that's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
I guess my the closest thing I come on to an argument was if we were to um take your DNA and clone you, and we raise baby Kerri, I don't think she would come out as someone having a sad heart. I don't think it was baked into who you are. I think it was a
Hmm.
result of your upbringing and stuff. Um, but I honestly, my clone lab is down, so I can't prove it. But yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, I
That's
was
funny.
trying to.
You were
But
supposed to say
that's
you're supposed to laugh at that.
right. Yeah.
You were supposed to
So
say that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but that, I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, there's just
You're a
like,
little bit of a delay. That's why, honey. Just so you know.
oh, okay. Um, yeah. So that's, I mean, that's what I think,
I
but
understand.
there's no way to ever know.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was a episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which was a
Oh
TV show
God,
from many years ago.
you are really showing how nerdy you are, baby.
I am pretty nerdy. I am
That's
pretty
all right.
nerdy.
I am too. I am too.
But
I could do this.
in the show,
Oh, look how good that is.
Live Long and Prosper.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I told
Um,
myself that because I thought it was cool.
it's cool to me. But in the episode, there's the guy that's like has godlike powers, Q, and Picard is like he thinks he's about to die, and
Hmm.
like somehow the thing was I wouldn't be in this situation if I didn't make mistakes in my youth. And the Q guy who has like godlike powers is like, well, how about I give you a chance to fix them? And he's like,
Hmm.
okay. So he goes back, and in the original timeline, what really happened was uh,
Ah, that'd be great.
these guys were like cheater like pool guys. It was
Hmm.
called like Domjot instead of pool, but same thing. They're like they were cheaters, and then they cheated Picard's friend out of money betting on the pool game.
Hmm.
And then Picard's friend goes, "Man, these yeah, I know these guys cheated. They're cheaters. Let's get their ass." So they rig the table to where now they are guaranteed to win. And then when they win, the aliens get really salty and they stab Picard like in the chest. So he
Okay.
has to get like a fake heart. And then later, when he's much older, that's when he gets hit with a phaser blast or whatever. And then that's when all this happens. So he gets to go back and change it all.
Yeah.
And then and then he never and then he goes back to where he currently is, but he's not the captain of Enterprise. He's just a nobody because that brush with death didn't happen, and therefore he never sought to make the most of each day, and he never had the drive to accomplish stuff. So he just ended up being just a dude.
Okay.
So it's like, and at the end, the like teaching moment or whatever it is, like the summation of the show. It's like I found when I wanted to pull on one thread of my life, the whole sweater unraveled or whatever.
Mm.
So it's so
Which,
complex what makes a person that to even change one thing, then that
hmm,
is a different person.
I love that you brought this up. I love this. And let's end it with this.
Yeah.
I want to know what you would do. The thing in the moment where you felt like this is what did it. I mean, I don't even know if you had that moment, but like if you knew, like, this is the moment that things went, right? And you could change it. Would you change it? Would
The
you alter any of it? Because if you it take the whole Picard thing, don't do any more hypotheticals. There's a hypothetical enough. The whole just keep on that.
the only
Would you
thing
do it? What's your instinct?
there is one and one thing only I would change in my life if I could, and it doesn't have anything to do with the stuff that hurt me the most. The only thing I would ever change is I would have started doing stand-up comedy when I was 18 or 21. I would have started doing that when I wanted to do it, but I didn't have the balls to do it.
Okay, well
Rather, than when I was 44.
Okay, but something stopped you from doing that. You had the thought at 18 to do that?
Um, I yeah, I wanted to, but then I talked myself out of it. And like, what am I was way too insecure. I didn't
Okay.
have the nerve. I was scared to go on stage and try to make people laugh, even though I knew it was funny, but I didn't have
Mm.
the confidence to do it
Why? 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 Why
because
did
I
you?
was
Why?
a very insecure person at that age.
Why?
I don't know.
What happened that made you insecure?
Um, I had very low self esteem.
I know that.
That makes one insecure. If they don't
I
have any
know, but
self
there's a
worth,
reason. There's a reason for that, right?
the low self esteem,
Yeah.
being raised Jehovah's Witness. I
There
had a
you go.
terrible complexion when I was a teenager.
There you go.
I
So what would you change? What caused you the hurt? The
the
Jehovah
only thing
Witnesses?
the only thing I would change is that I would have started doing it back then
Okay.
rather than at 44.
All right.
Because
So what
that
would
wouldn't
you?
have really changed. That wouldn't. I don't feel doing stand up comedy would have. I think we still would be together. I think we still would have had 2 kids. Like it wouldn't have changed everything. It just would have changed.
Right.
It would have. It would have. It would have been something that as soon as I did it, I would have realized that I should keep doing it. And I
Mhm.
don't know. Like I said, the show is kind of right though. You can't just change the one thing. The Flash movie. I'm gonna change one thing, and
Right.
then everything's different. So it's like kind of like,
Okay. But maybe sometimes it's worth doing it, right?
yeah. I mean, but you can't change the past. So
Well, we can't. We're talking hypothetical,
yeah,
right? So you wouldn't do anything different, or would you? If you could go to that
that
boy at 18 that said, "Man, I kind of want to do it, but I'm too insecure," and you could go in yourself now going, "No, no, no, don't be insecure, man. Come on, come on, come on, get up and do it." Because come on, don't do that. You're good. Would
yeah,
you change? Would you change it?
yeah. If I could have 5 minutes with myself at 18, I would talk myself into
Hmm.
going on stage and trying to make people laugh.
I, who do you
Now,
want to go and
what would you do?
but it's very curious to me. I just you with your mentality, you weren't born insecure. So something caused that insecurity to make you not want to do that at 18. But I guess that's the my I was going through. What would I do?
Yeah,
What would I do if I can go back in time? Oh, I'd kill that motherfucker. It's funny you mentioned a knife because I thought I'd stab that motherfucker. Yeah, that's what I do.
I get it.
Right. So it's like I understand where the root of I understand where it came from. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And maybe that's where I'm selfish in a hypothetical situation. I wouldn't care because the things I felt and went through, I'd kill that motherfucker hard. Like hard, brutal hard. Like watch him bleed.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So we're just so I love you so much. We're just different. We're just different. But that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's a necessity that people are different. If everyone was the same,
Oh,
the world would be atrocious.
right?
We'd be robots.
I am a robot.
I am a robot.
Okay. Brandon, Danielle
Human
go, I am a
8645
robot.
reporting for duty.
Brandon and Danielle go, I am a robot. They used to do that. That was very cute. Listen, we
Do you
don't
know
have to,
you remember where that came from?
was it iRobot? No, the cartoon?
No, it was from Michael, the
Wally.
ice cream truck guy, had the voice box from throat cancer or whatever,
Stop.
and he had to talk like this with the microphone.
Are
And
kids
then Michael
laughing?
started saying, I am a robot. That's where that came from.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
We hit up the ice cream guy and he had a voice thing
We weren't there. Michael was.
and he said, "I am a robot." And
I am a robot. Like, because it doesn't sound like normal voice.
he was a kid.
Yeah, I am a
Right.
robot. And so then, like, they picked up on that from him saying that.
Yes. I am a robot.
I am a robot.
Brandon and Dad used to do that. I am a robot. And then he would even say things like, I am a, if they saw their grandmother, they would go, I am a robot grandmother. And they'd go, if they saw me, I am a robot aunt. Like it was like stuck in her head. Isn't that funny, man?
It's very funny.
It's wild. All right, let's not end this on this weird note, but hopefully soon we'll have a nice little guest I think you guys are going to really enjoy.
Absolutely.
If you haven't, we mentioned Justin. If you haven't watched our last one, go and watch it. He's really freaking cool. And he has like a lot of content on his channel.
Yeah,
Like, totally check it out. Like, seriously. And like and subscribe, it helps us.
absolutely.
So,
Hey, Kerri Bemis, thanks for talking with me. I really enjoyed it.
me too. I'll see you in the bedroom soon.
Wow.
Bye,
Mwah.
guys.